He vanished inside the system. No obituary, no file, no release date. For 21 years, one man sat in a cell that didn't officially exist, in a prison no one was supposed to remember. This is the story of Aaron Miles, the man the system tried to forget.
Chapter 1. The arrest that shouldn't have happened. In 1999, the city of Chicago was tense. The police were under pressure to solve a string of robberies that had left 2 officers wounded and the public terrified. Aaron Miles was 34, a warehouse forklift operator with a clean record, a calm nature, and a son he adored. He was on his way home from a double shift when 2 unmarked cars boxed him in. Get out of the vehicle. He barely had time to raise his hands before being thrown against the hood. When he asked what was happening, one of the officers, Detective Roy Hensley, a burly man with slick black hair and cold gray eyes, said only, "You know what you did." But Aaron didn't. He'd been mistaken for a suspect caught on grainy footage. Same jacket, same height, same car model. It was enough. He was booked, processed, and charged with armed robbery and attempted murder of a police officer. Within 48 hours, his name was splashed across newspapers as Cop Shooter Miles. By the time he met a public defender, his guilt was already sealed in public opinion. Chapter 2. The Trial Without Evidence. Aaron's court-appointed lawyer told him to take a plea deal. "They're offering 30 years, she said flatly. He refused. "I didn't do anything." The prosecution's case was paper-thin, a witness who couldn't identify him, a security camera that didn't show his face, and a gun with no fingerprints. But the state's attorney, William Harrow, a rising political star with ambitions for a higher office, needed a conviction, and he got one. In June 2000, after a 6-day trial, a jury found Aaron Miles guilty on all counts. Sentenced to life without parole, he was sent to Stonegate Correctional Facility, a maximum security prison rarely mentioned in official state reports. What he didn't know then was that Stonegate wasn't supposed to have new inmates. It had been ordered closed 6 months earlier for administrative restructuring. But someone, somewhere, kept it running. Quietly. Chapter 3. The Vanishing. In 2005, the Department of Corrections began digital record conversion. Thousands of old paper files were scanned into new systems. But Aaron Miles' file wasn't among them. Somehow, his paperwork was missing, his intake log, transfer forms, even his mugshot. The system now showed no record found. His sister, Danielle Miles, called every week for updates, only to be told he wasn't in custody. "Ma'am, are you sure your brother was incarcerated?" For years, she wrote letters, visited offices, begged anyone to check. No one did. Aaron's existence had been erased by a clerical error or something more deliberate. Chapter 4. The Forgotten Prison. Stonegate was an aging fortress hidden in rural Illinois. Miles of razor wire and silence. By 2007, only 80 inmates remained. Funding was gone. Guards rotated every few weeks. Medical care was non-existent. And yet, prisoners like Aaron stayed. He spent his days repairing old electrical lines and teaching other inmates basic reading skills. He'd stop hoping for freedom, but never stop writing letters. Every month, he wrote the same sentence to his sister: "I'm still here." The letters stopped arriving in 2010. Danielle thought her brother had died. She didn't know they'd stopped the mail service to save money. Chapter 5. The Whistleblower. In 2017, investigative journalist Aaron Valdez received an anonymous email with one line: "There's a prison in Illinois that doesn't exist, and people inside who shouldn't be." The message included a photo of a man behind bars holding a sign, Aaron M. Aaron, 32, sharp-eyed and methodical, had built a reputation for exposing corruption. She drove to rural Illinois and found Stonegate, its entrance hidden behind rusted fences and decaying guard towers. When she asked local officials about it, they told her it was closed years ago, but she could see the lights still on inside. Chapter 6. The Hidden Ledger. Aaron's investigation uncovered internal memos showing that Stonegate had continued operating under temporary maintenance, a bureaucratic loophole allowing the department to move inmates there when other prisons were overcrowded. Except there was no record of who was being transferred. She tracked down former corrections officer Frank Delaney, a wiry man in his 60s who retired a decade earlier. They used to send men there that didn't fit, he told her. Guys whose files got lost. Easy to stash them somewhere quiet than reopen their cases. When she showed him Aaron's photo, his eyes darkened. Yeah, I remember him. Always said he didn't belong there. He hesitated. They kept him longer than anyone. Chapter 7, the investigation that almost died. Aaron published her first article. The prison Illinois forgot. It exploded online, and within days, state officials denied everything. The Department of Corrections released a statement calling the report false and inflammatory. But then Aaron received a call from a block number. A man's voice said, "You need to stop asking about Aaron Miles." Click. Her editor got nervous. Sponsors threatened to pull funding, but she couldn't let it go. She drove back to Stonegate, this time sneaking through the woods at night with a camera. What she found confirmed everything. Chapter 8, the discovery. Through a crack in the fence, Aaron filmed the inside yard, men in orange jumpsuits walking in silence under floodlights. She zoomed in on one face, older, thinner, but unmistakably Aaron Miles. Still alive. She sent the footage to Danielle, who broke down sobbing. "My brother's alive? After 20 years. That video went viral within hours. Suddenly, the same state that said Stonegate was closed announced it would review operations at the facility. But behind the scenes, evidence started disappearing. Files shredded, guards reassigned. Someone was cleaning house. Chapter 9, the escape from silence. Under mounting pressure, the governor ordered a full investigation. When officials entered Stonegate, they found 47 inmates with no active records. Half had been legally released years earlier. Some were missing identification entirely. Among them was Aaron Miles, frail, gray-haired, now 54. He didn't recognize the world outside anymore. Smartphones, digital cars. Everything had changed, except the quiet fury in his eyes. When reporters asked him how he survived, he said, "I didn't. Not really." He'd written over 500 letters during those years. Not one had been mailed. Chapter 10, the aftermath. The Stonegate scandal made national headlines. Investigations found that mid-level officials had hidden inmates to manipulate overcrowding statistics and to bury cases that could expose wrongful convictions. Detective Roy Hensley and former prosecutor William Harrow both faced inquiries, but neither went to prison. Erin Valdez won awards for her reporting. Danielle finally got her brother home. But it wasn't the reunion she'd imagined. Aaron's health was failing. The years of isolation had left scars deeper than anyone could see. He gave one final interview before his death in 2021. "The hardest part wasn't the prison," he said softly. "It was realizing the world moved on without me."
They called it an administrative oversight. But for one man, it was a lifetime stolen by silence. A name erased, a life buried, and a truth nearly forgotten. Aaron Miles never saw justice served. But thanks to one voice that refused to stay quiet, the world finally saw him. Because sometimes the system doesn't just fail people, it forgets them. This is Justice Uncovered, uncovering the truth one case at a time. If the story moved you, share it. Like this video and subscribe to Justice Uncovered, because every forgotten name deserves to be heard again.